Sam's division, Jake's division. The Chicago Bears I have coming in last, Sam, I'm sorry to say. I truly don't think that they have gotten any better this offseason. Maybe Eberflus will prove me wrong. Losing Allen Robinson, obviously. Losing Khalil Mack, obviously. And then at 3, I have the Detroit Lions, who I think are going to surprise some people. Obviously, everybody's hot on them right now because of Hard Knocks, and they're like a team you want to root for and everything. But they do seem to have like coaches in place who know what they're doing and have had NFL experience. And they have guys like Aiden Hutchinson who seem to be like real deal. And then Jameson Williams is going to come back at some point too. And then at 2, I have the Minnesota Vikings, who I do think will be a playoff team, but still second place in the division. And then I have the Green Bay Packers at 1. I think that this is still Aaron Rodgers' division. I'm sorry, Jake. I don't believe in Kirk Cousins. I know that you guys don't believe in him either because you only gave him a 1-year deal. But I think that Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook are still the best running back wide receiver duo in the NFL. So that will get you guys to the playoffs.
And it's not even close.
Well, you're right, but who knows what can happen as we get to the playoffs because those are primetime games and Kirk will be the quarterback. So we'll see what happens there.
Never works.
But I still think the Packers win the division. I don't think that they'll be as good as they were last year. I think they were 13-3 or 13-4. I think that they'll probably be around 11-6 this year. That's what I have them at. What do you guys think?
Can I offer my rebuttal to your egregious take of the Bears finishing last, which very well could happen? All right. So, first, everyone's saying the whole big thing here is you lost Khalil Mack, you lost Allen Robinson. Numbers-wise, last year, Allen Robinson didn't do shit. He was awful, and that's not his fault. He's an amazingly talented player. He can catch the ball. He can run routes. He can jump. He can do anything. Coaching wasn't there. The game planning was awful through and through every single time. The offensive line, yes, I'll give that to you. Our offensive line is terrible. It sucks. It hasn't been good. They tried to get some veterans in there to fix it, but after 2 weeks of preseason, even with 2 wins, they have shown that they have not improved much because Justin Fields is under pressure pretty much every time he gets the ball. Last year, there was a whole thing about, okay, Darnell Mooney's being treated like the number 1 receiver. Really talented, great, I love him. But there's Allen Robinson there too, leading some turmoil in the offense or whatever. And you have Khalil Mack on defense, wasn't as effective last year, and most of their defensive production came solely from Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn, who are both still on that roster. The Bears do better when they have a head coach who is defensively minded because they tried the whole Mark Trestman thing, which we saw how that ended up with an offensive coordinator. Then you try Matt Nagy, one good season where everyone's playing their asses off and everything's going our way. It goes good, and then it goes right back to where it was. Lovie Smith as an example. Do I think Matt Eberflus is going to be the next Lovie Smith? No. And if he is, good. I hope he proves me wrong. But at the same time, I'm not getting over my head here. I said from the beginning, the Bears are going to win 6 games. That's my benchmark. If they win 8, that is an amazing season. If they win 7, I'm okay with it. If they win 5, okay, whatever. If they win less than 5, then I'm going to get angry. All right. But at the same time, I'm almost done here. I'm so fucking tired. Everyone's saying, oh, the Lions are going to be better than the Bears. The Lions are going to be better than the Bears. Shut the fuck up, okay? Yeah, Dan Campbell's cool. Dan Campbell's the football guy, whatever. The Lions fucking suck. They're terrible. They're awful. And they've proven it year in and year out that they're dog shit. The Bears dominated them last year. The Matt Nagy-led Bears dominated the Lions last year. And how have the Lions gotten better? By adding Aiden Hutchinson? Okay, maybe you'll sack Justin Fields once in a game. But what does that do? They've shown they can win because Justin Fields gets sacked by every single defensive end in the entire NFL. Okay? And, okay, I have one more thing. The Packers... I want to be on Jake's side and say the Vikings are going to win the division, but I think the Packers are going to win. And I thought it was going to be the Vikings because you see like, oh, they lost the receivers, like they lost some weapons, and Aaron Rodgers saying they're all dropping balls and shit and whatever. Aaron Rodgers does this shit every single year where he's like, oh, everything's bad. Like, you know, like I might retire soon. Things aren't really going well here in Green Bay. And then what do you know? He goes out and fires out 4,000 passing yards and is breaking records as a quarterback. That's my monologue on the NFC East. I'm open for questions, but that is my rant.
It's the NFC North, first of all.
I
Second,
knew. I told Tommy before I was going to make some kind of fuck up like that.
all I know is that they've lost players this offseason. They have a new coach who's completely unproven. Could they be better than the Lions? Sam talked for 6 minutes, and his conclusion was, I think we're going to win 6 games. That is the Bears in a nutshell.
It's a real fan.
Here's the deal about the Vikings, and I'll be quick. I don't know if a week 1 game has ever mattered more. It's Packers at Vikings week 1. Aaron Rodgers does not play in the preseason, so he has no game reps with all these new receivers. And he's been criticizing them, saying that they're making mistakes and everything. If Minnesota at home with a new offensive-minded coach who's supposed to get Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson in wide open looks and help make Kirk Cousins look like he's a top 10 quarterback as he propelled Stafford and I know, and listen, and Stafford's better than Kirk Cousins. I'm just saying that Stafford has never played as good as he did last year, though, in when he's with the Lions. If the Packers go into Minnesota and win that game in week 1, I will be terrified. After 1 game, I will be terrified. But I think they're going to win, and I think that the division's ours. Yeah, there you go.
I'm just going to say this. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Game of Thrones, but Aaron Rodgers is like Jon Snow. He's the king of the North. He's going to win the division. The Vikings are going to win the division. I mean, not the Vikings. The Bears. The Packers are going to win.
Yeah, he said it.
The Packers are going to win the division. Sorry, but yeah.
I think the Vikings are a really good team. I think the Vikings. You're right, Jake. The Vikings and the Packers game. That game is going to be a game to watch. I might take the Vikings winning the division just because they have more talent.
Who did the Vikings add? Who did the Vikings add this?
Darius Smith from the Packers.
Darius Smith.
And then they drafted Lewis Seen and Andrew Booth.
Okay, so the Vikings have been a little bit over 500 team for the past 3 or 4 years, and Ladarius Smith.
Zadarius with a Z.
Zadarius Smith is all of a sudden going to make you guys a division winner.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to win the division, but I think the NFC has gotten worse than it was past years. So that's.
It's gotten worse, but I'm hearing the Vikings would be so good.
No,
you added Zadarius Smith.
No, the reason we've been awful is because the defense has been awful, and our offense has actually been fine. So all we need is the defense to be average, and then the offense to be great, which it should be.
Zadarius Smith is going to make your defense from terrible to average.
The 2 teams that really matter in the NFC North are the Vikings and the Packers, and that's been going but the Packers have been led.
And even though we've been average the last few years, we've always split with Green Bay in the regular season.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying that week 1.
That always happens, yeah.
I don't have a lot of faith in Aaron Rodgers this season. I don't.
No one ever has faith in Aaron Rodgers for any season, and he goes out and shoves it up everyone's throat like he does every single season. And like Jake said, week 1 is the big game. Didn't the Packers get their shit whooped by New Orleans last year, week 1? What did that do? And then the year before, I think they got tanked by Tampa Bay in week 1 or week 2 or something.
Week 4, yeah.
It was something early.
It really doesn't matter. If the Vikings lose by 30, it doesn't matter. They could still make the playoffs. But that game will be fun.
I'll just be concerned. Like, damn, it's still Aaron Rodgers' division. Like, damn.
Well, Aaron Rodgers will still be Aaron Rodgers unless something the first. You could see the first week the Vikings win and be like, oh, Aaron Rodgers is washed or whatever. I would have to give it 6 weeks of inconsistent Aaron Rodgers play. Bad quarterbacking for me to say, oh, Aaron Rodgers actually might be done.